There's a reason your deepest desires haven't fully materialized yet, and it has nothing to do with effort, worthiness, or even your thoughts. This may be uncomfortable to hear at first, but it's ultimately freeing. Positive thinking alone is not enough to transform your life. In fact, your mind may be the very thing keeping you trapped in cycles of almost manifestations and quiet frustration. You've likely been told that your thoughts create your reality, but there's a crucial piece rarely mentioned. Thoughts are only the surface layer of creation. The true architect is your vibration. A thought without vibration is like trying to light a fire with air alone. Nothing ignites. And vibration doesn't come from what you say you want. It comes from what you feel when no one is watching. Reality doesn't respond to words. It responds to frequency. That's why we must begin in the invisible, yet immensely powerful field of your emotional energy. Your thoughts can imagine a future, but it's your frequency that determines whether that future becomes real or remains a distant dream. This is the unseen conflict many people are fighting without realizing it. On one side, the intellect repeats affirmations, visualizes outcomes, and builds vision boards. On the other, the body, the deeper intelligence within you, is still broadcasting fear, doubt, and unworthiness. The result is a vibrational mismatch that halts manifestation before it can take form. The universe is listening, but it listens to all of you, not just the part performing optimism. Your energy speaks louder than your language. That's why someone grounded in deep self-trust can attract synchronicities effortlessly, while another person repeating flawless mantras from a place of lack sees nothing change. Your vibration is the signal, the field is the mirror. So where does this misalignment begin? It starts with a belief system that glorifies the intellect while dismissing the intelligence of the heart. We've been conditioned to believe that logic is supreme, that strategy will save us, and that manifestation is a mental checklist. This is an illusion born from separation, between mind and body, thought and feeling, self and source. And the cost is delay, resistance, and a life that almost shifts but never quite does. You may feel it, that subtle tension between what you claim to believe and what your nervous system actually feels. That's not your failure. It's the symptom of a culture obsessed with control and uncomfortable with surrender. But now that you're here, something is already awakening, a deeper remembering. You are not just a thinker, you are a vibrational being. And until you resonate in harmony with what you desire, it cannot collapse into your experience, no matter how badly you want it. This isn't about rejecting the mind. It's about restoring the heart to its rightful role as co-creator. Because when your thoughts align with your emotions, when your mind and heart speak the same vibrational language, you become magnetic to the reality you were always meant to live. This isn't magic. It's quantum coherence. And once you feel it, everything changes. Today, we begin to strip away the illusion that thinking alone is the path. We peel back the curtain and look at the energy underneath the words. We stop performing positivity and start transmitting truth. You are not here to beg reality to change. You are here to become the frequency that reality cannot help but reflect. So let me ask you, right now in this very moment, are you thinking about your dream life, or are you already becoming the one who lives it? No piece of data, no affirmation repeated, no motivational quote printed on a wall can outpower the resonance emanating from your heart. Because here's a fact. Many manifestation systems fail to mention that your heart is not just an organ. It's a powerful electromagnetic generator, emitting waves thousands of times stronger than the field around your brain. Decades of research from the HeartMath Institute have shown that when your heart is coherent, in states of genuine gratitude, deep appreciation, or unconditional love, your entire electromagnetic field becomes ordered, harmonious, and profoundly magnetic. Your heart isn't just beating for physical life. It is broadcasting your emotional frequency into the quantum field, shaping vibrational reality in real time. Think about this. Thoughts create electrical signals easy, but emotions generate magnetic waves. That magnetic field, transparent, invisible, vast, is the language the universe understands. Your brain imagines, your heart magnetizes, and without coherence between them, your creation stays stuck in limbo. When your mind is creating a pact to manifest list, but your heart is operating from fear or lack, the result is confusion. Because telling the world, "I am enough," while internally bracing for loss creates an energetic dissonance the field can't resolve. This dissonance is felt in your heart's electromagnetic signature, not through words, but through vibration that reverberates beyond your body. This is where gratitude becomes transcendent, not because it's trendy, but because it bridges mind and heart. By focusing on something you truly appreciate, something that warms your chest, you generate coherence. The eye, brain, and heart align. Neural circuits harmonize with electromagnetic frequencies. You begin cutting a clear, energetic path instead of scattering your signal across misaligned states. This isn't metaphysical speculation. It's measurable. When researchers had people intentionally evoke gratitude, their HRV, heart rate variability, became more ordered. Their brain waves synchronized. Their capacity for intuitive insight and energetic presence expanded. You begin to feel seen by something far bigger than ego. This unified vibration, heart to mind, is what collapses reality. It's not positive thinking challenged with alarm. It's not hopping combined with panic. It's crystalline coherence, a signal broadcast so pure that the quantum field can't help but respond. Here's the deeper secret. Coherence through the heart also unlocks something called non-local consciousness. In these states, your field extends beyond your body, touching timelines, touching potentials, accessing outcomes that haven't physically manifested yet. We're talking quantum entanglement, but not just with particles. You're entangled with your future selves, with the reality where your desires already exist. That's why you've experienced sudden inspiration, uncanny synchronicities, a sudden download of insight. It's your heart field finally tuned to the right frequency. This is the difference between forced manifesting and effortless alignment. Effort always lives in the mind. Effort always produces friction. Alignment lives in the heart. It produces coherence. And coherence is magnetic, not attractive. Magnetic. It draws in everything born of that same frequency effortlessly. So yes, you can think your way into a dream. But if your heart isn't resonating with that future, your brain's aspirations ripple through a field not tuned to them, and the signal dissolves. So how do you practice this? Start small. Pick a moment of genuine appreciation, a sunrise, a breath, the taste of water. Let gratitude wash through your body, expanding your chest, steadying your breath. Let that bliss settle. Hold it for 30 seconds. Then imagine the reality you desire not as a distant goal, but as a heart-centered truth you already live. That's coherence. Not a demand, not a plea, a signal of identity, a frequency broadcasting, "This is who I am." And the universe responds, not to your words, but to your resonance. This is the power of the heart. It isn't waiting for evidence to feel. It isn't begging the field to respond. It's setting the tone and letting the signal speak for itself. From this moment forward, don't try to manifest with your head alone. Feel with your heart first. Breathe into emotion balanced by intention, aligned by vibration. Because the heart isn't just part of you, it's part of creation. You've been told to think positive, to visualize, to repeat affirmations until they rewire your subconscious. But here, the inconvenient truth most manifestation teachings gloss over. Thinking alone is powerless without vibrational alignment. The brain is a master of simulation. It can construct futures, recall pasts, generate fantasies, imagine possibilities. But here, the key. Imagination without embodiment stays in the realm of fiction. And the universe doesn't respond to fiction. It responds to frequency. This is why so many spiritual seekers feel stuck. You can wake up every morning and say, "I am abundant." But if your body is flooded with the chemistry of lack, stress, doubt, unworthiness, then your field is incoherent, and the quantum field cannot mirror incoherence. Joe Dispenza says it clearly. You can't think greater than how you feel. And if your emotions are rooted in fear, no amount of positive thinking will override the energetic broadcast you're sending to the field. This is not about blame. It's about understanding how your operating system works. Thoughts are electrical. They initiate signals. But feelings are magnetic. They attract, repel, amplify, or distort those signals. And the manifestation process is not a mental exercise, it's a full-body transmission. Every thought you think activates a neural network. But unless that thought is emotionally charged, the signal is weak. It might generate a slight ripple in the field, but it lacks the coherence and power to collapse reality. This is where emotional repetition becomes dangerous. When you think a thought like, "I'm not enough," and pair it with an emotion like shame, and then repeat that daily, you are literally programming your field to attract scenarios, people, and outcomes that mirror that belief. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because you're observing that frequency over and over and collapsing it into form. Now think about the phrase, "fake it until you make it." In the quantum realm, that doesn't work because the field reads your essence, not your performance. You can act confident, but if your cells are vibrating with fear, the field picks that up. Energy doesn't lie. This is where Bruce Lipton's work becomes vital. Through epigenetics, he demonstrated that your thoughts and beliefs influence your biology, which in turn shapes your vibrational signature. Your perception alters your body chemistry, and your body chemistry broadcasts a message to the quantum field. So when you think, "I am abundant," but feel contracted in your chest, when you visualize love but carry the heaviness of heartbreak, your field doesn't respond to the image, it responds to the emotion beneath it. And here's the paradox. You can't think your way into a new reality unless your body believes it. That's why shifting identity is the cornerstone of quantum manifestation. Not wishing, not pretending, but becoming. The real shift happens when the future you want is no longer a goal but a felt state within, when your nervous system stops waiting for evidence, when your body no longer needs proof to believe it's worthy. That's when you collapse timelines. This is not abstract. This is neuroplasticity. This is biology. This is quantum physics in motion. So how do you bridge the gap between thought and vibration? You embody it. You rehearse the future, not as a fantasy, but as a memory. You condition your nervous system to feel safety, joy, and freedom before the external changes. You become familiar with the frequency of your desired self, and then your body begins to trust it. This is what Neville Goddard called living from the end, feeling now what you would feel if it were already done. Not hopping, not begging, but resting in the vibration of it already being real. Because here's the truth, the field doesn't give you what you want, it reflects who you are. And if who you are is aligned, thought, feeling, belief, vibration, the field has no choice but to collapse the matching reality. So stop trying to think your way out of lack. Feel your way into abundance. Stop trying to repeat affirmations like mantras of control, speak them like echoes of identity. Reality is not created by thought alone. It is created by coherence, and coherence is what happens when thought, feeling, and being become one. Here's a truth rarely spoken. Your body is not just a vessel, it's a transmitter. Every breath, every sensation, every subtle emotion is part of the signal you're sending to the quantum field. You're not just thinking your reality, you're vibrating it through the language of your body. Imagine for a moment that your body is a finely tuned antenna. Every heartbeat, every neural impulse, every gut feeling is either broadcasting coherence or distortion. And the field responds with exactitude, not to your words, not even to your desires, but to your frequency, to the way your biology speaks. Energy. This is why transformation doesn't happen in the mind alone. You must include the body in your shift. The HeartMath Institute has spent decades researching the electromagnetic field of the heart. What they discovered is stunning. The heart generates an electrical field 60 times greater than the brain, and a magnetic field over 5,000 times more powerful. And that magnetic field extends several feet beyond your body, pulsing information into the space around you. That means the heart is not just pumping blood. It's broadcasting data, emotional data, energetic intelligence. And when your heart and brain are in sync, they generate something called coherence, a smooth, ordered pattern in your biofield that makes you a powerful attractor of aligned realities. But when you live in stress, anxiety, fear, or emotional chaos, that signal becomes incoherent, fragmented, distorted. It's like trying to tune into a station, but the static keeps interrupting the frequency. That's what most people are manifesting from, static. Here's the good news. You can learn to retune your body. Start with the breath. It is the bridge between the conscious and subconscious, between thought and biology. When you slow your breath, deepen your inhale and soften your exhale, you send a signal to your nervous system. I am safe now. And that safety is the doorway to access your true vibration. You cannot attract abundance from survival mode. You cannot access love from emotional panic. The frequency of your next reality lives in a nervous system that trusts life. This is why Joe Dispenza speaks of rehearsing the future, not just imagining it, but feeling it in the body as if it's already real. When you close your eyes, breathe into your heart and visualize your future self already living the dream, and your body believes it. The field responds. Because here's the code. What your body believes is what the field mirrors. Want to go deeper? Bring your awareness to the center of your chest. This is the seat of your energetic intelligence. When you place your attention there, slow your breath, and recall a feeling of gratitude or joy, you begin to generate coherence. That coherence isn't just a nice feeling, it's a broadcast. It tells the field, this is who I am now. Over time, that repeated broadcast begins to override old patterns. It rewires neural pathways. It reshapes your electromagnetic field, and it prepares your reality to shift. This is not magic. This is quantum biology. Your body is the conduit between thought and manifestation, between dream and form, and every cell is listening to the signal you're sending. Bruce Lipton's work confirms this. Your beliefs are not just abstract concepts. They trigger cascades of chemicals which affect your genes, your immune system, your mood, and yes, your frequency. Change your belief, change your biochemistry, change your broadcast. That's why embodiment is the final frontier. So let this be your new ritual. Breathe with intention. Feel before you think. Visualize from the heart, not just the mind. Move like someone who's already free. Rest as if life is holding you. And as your nervous system relaxes, your frequency rises. We'll end this block with a declaration, and I invite you to write it in the comments below as a vibrational act of choice. I choose coherence. Because coherence isn't just calm, it's clarity. It's magnetism. It's the password to the reality you've been trying to reach with your mind, but can only enter with your energy. Your body knows the way. There's a moment in your journey where everything shifts. It's not when you get the job, meet the person, or manifest the thing. It's when your inner world starts to match the energy of the life you've been dreaming of, when your body, not just your mind, starts vibrating the feeling of it's already here. That's when the field responds. Because manifestation isn't triggered by desire, it's triggered by emotional alignment. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you feel consistently. That's the core message we've been building toward. Thoughts are electric. They spark ideas. They ignite intention. But emotions are magnetic. They carry those intentions out into the field. And when the two are coherent, when you think about what you love and feel it is already yours, the universe begins to arrange itself to match your vibration. This is why just thinking positive doesn't work. It's not about reciting affirmations on the surface while your body is still looping through fear or lack. That only sends mixed signals into the quantum field, and the field reflects the stronger one, usually the emotional one, always the energetic one. Here's the truth. You are always broadcasting. Even when you're not speaking, even when you're not acting, your field is transmitting data through your frequency. It's like a cosmic language, and the universe only understands coherence, not the words, not the dreams, but the felt state beneath them. Let's anchor this with a metaphor. Imagine a tuning fork. If you strike one and bring another close, the second one begins to vibrate without being touched. That's resonance. That's how your vibration works in the quantum field. When you feel joy, safety, love, expansion, the field starts to reflect circumstances, people, and events that resonate with those frequencies. That's not magic. That's physics. That's resonance at work. So, what does this mean for you right now? It means you don't need to chase anything. You don't need to hustle the universe into giving you what you want. You just need to practice becoming a vibrational match to the version of you who already has it. That future self, confident, abundant, peaceful, already exists as a potential in the field. And the moment you feel like them consistently, you begin to collapse that version into now. Neville Goddard called this living from the end. Joe Dispenza calls it rehearsing the future. Abraham Hicks calls it getting into the vortex. No matter the language, the principle is the same. What you emotionally embody becomes what you energetically receive. So how do you shift from thinking into feeling? Start small. Choose one thing you've been trying to manifest and ask, how would I feel if this were already mine? Let your breath slow. Let your body soften. Let your heart imagine the moment, not mentally but sensorially. Can you hear the sounds of your new life? Can you feel the texture of it in your chest? This is not fantasy. This is frequency rehearsal. And the more often you visit that feeling, the more familiar it becomes, until one day your body accepts it as normal. And that's the key. Normalizing the miraculous, making abundance feel natural, making peace feel inevitable, making love feel safe in your nervous system. That's when the universe says yes. And here's something powerful to remember. You are never faking it. You are activating it. You're not pretending to be someone you're not. You're choosing to tune into a version of you that already exists in the field. One breath, one thought, one emotion at a time. As you move forward, remember your greatest tool isn't your vision board, your planner, or your strategy. It's your vibration, your presence, your coherence. You don't have to push reality into shape. You only have to align with the version of you that naturally attracts it. Let this sink in. The moment you truly feel it, it's already happening. And when that truth becomes embodied, your whole world begins to shift, not because the field changed, but because you did. There comes a moment in your journey where the effort to manifest begins to feel noisy. All the trying, all the forcing, all the mental repetition. At some point, it starts to echo hollow. Because in the quantum field, reality doesn't respond to how loudly you speak your desires. It responds to the vibration you embody in silence. And this silence is not emptiness. It is coherence. It is alignment. It is the quiet presence of someone who knows who they are. The most powerful frequency you can emit doesn't come from your voice. It comes from your stillness. When thoughts, emotions, and presence are unified, you stop broadcasting confusion to the field. Manifestation is not a performance. It isn't about projecting confidence or endlessly repeating affirmations. It's about attunement, a gentle shift from doing to being. And within that state of being, something extraordinary begins to unfold. You stop chasing the future. You stop bargaining with the universe. You step into the version of yourself who already possesses what was once sought, not intellectually, but vibrationally. This shift is subtle yet unmistakable. You feel it in the way your nervous system relaxes, the way your voice softens, the way urgency dissolves and trust replaces it. The silent frequency of being is not passive. It is grounded. It is aware. It is knowing. Your role is not to go out and get what you desire, but to collapse into it. This is coherence, when your inner world no longer contradicts the vision you hold. From this place, manifestation no longer feels like effort. The field is already responding. People, opportunities, synchronicities, they begin to reorganize naturally, not because you forced them, but because you became a vibrational match. True embodiment does not shout. It does not panic. It does not try to convince. It simply exists as truth. And when your energy becomes a clear signal, the quantum field reflects it effortlessly. This is the silent frequency, the one that whispers, "You already are." Become still enough to feel what you've been broadcasting all along. Notice where you've been acting from fear instead of certainty. The field is not judging you. It is mirroring you. This is not about controlling every thought or perfecting every emotion. It is about surrendering into coherence, breathing into the version of yourself who already lives the life you desire. Your worth is not something you earn. It is something you remember. If you've made it this far, some part of you already knows this. You've always known it. This message isn't new, it's ancient. It arrives now as confirmation that the shift begins with you, not in what you say, not in what you do, but in who you are right now without effort. If this resonated, stay with us. Subscribe. This space is about energetic remembrance, a home for those who are done trying and ready to become. Because the quantum field does not respond to longing. It responds to being.